What's good, Humble fam? Welcome to this inaugural edition of the Humble Show. I am Grant Fletcher. I'm joined by my co-host Moonbeam, Hallows, and special guest on this first episode, Brandon Cox. Say hello, everyone.
Hello, everyone.
It feels good to be the first, like the inaugural guest.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
setting the
course.
pace for the rest of the guests.
We're setting the bar real high.
Real high. Because we're three folks who work in the fast-paced, exciting, multi-billion-dollar industry that is conventions. I'm pretty sure that's accurate.
It's just multi-million.
We're multi-hundred.
We're not quite to the billion yet.
Hundreds, dozens and dozens of dollars involved in the convention industry, everyone.
Oh, just every time I see like an article, it always says like hundreds of people gathered at YZ. Like, wow, man, we didn't even break 1,000.
Yeah. Like, I don't know. It looks like a lot of people. There must be at least like 200 people here in this giant convention center that we've somehow booked. I mean, I guess I'm a backup MC / trivia guy / I don't know, photo op prop maker now or something like that. And Brandon is our merch man and house announcer extraordinaire. And Moonbeam, what would you say is your...
Oh, I watch a bag. I'm a professional bag watcher.
Bag watcher.
Yeah. I'm glad that you do that so merch does not have to... Yeah,
people like to, come to me and say, hey, would you hold my crap? And I do it because if they ask Brandon, he's just going to set that dish on fire.
He will turn... Yeah, I've seen him do it.
Yeah.
Well, I've seen the lighter fluid. I haven't seen him actually do it.
Look, I mean, times is tough. It's I don't know the last time everybody bought kindling. Went to the store and said, "Hey, me and my pauper family need kindling," and they give you the price of kindling, and you look at them in the eye and you say, "Get out of town." And so, times is tough.
Yeah.
You have to make do. You know how things work.
Of course.
You leave your bag, Brandon's going to set it on fire.
Of course.
He's going to build a little fire in the back there. But no, in all seriousness, I am the volunteer coordinator. I do a little more than watch bags, not too much more. I design all the merch, and I'm just there for morale, I guess.
Right, yeah, for morale, to pump everybody up. And, because we've got some, like, just fabulous, talented, attractive, brilliant volunteers that show up to all the shows.
Oh, yeah, like, we couldn't do it without them.
No, God, no. No way. I mean, that's what I started doing, was volunteering. I'm sure, Brandon, what was your first... did you, like, graduate to the merch guy, or what happened there?
Oh, boy, have I never told you that story?
No, I've never heard the story.
So, this was 2014 at SepokuCon.
SepokuCon.
And
Southern
where's that
culture.
at? What's that?
That was in Jackson, Mississippi.
Mississippi.
Old, haunted convention center. It was pretty gnarly. I got to be honest. As opposed to how it is usually, and I don't know if it could have very well been the case in this instance, but there was no meeting day before for me. I think I showed up either slightly before or slightly after opening. I want to say it was slightly after opening, and I was just like, well, and just to preface for everybody at home, I knew I knew the people that were putting this on, so I was just like, hey guys, I'm here. I was thrown the ugliest shirts I'd ever seen in my life and was told to watch a door that no one entered or exited out of the entire day.
I literally have proof of this.
Easy job then, yeah.
This could be the the thumbnail for the show.
Oh yeah, please send that to me. Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
I sure will.
Oh.
But yeah, and the shirt wasn't that ugly.
It was the color that was ugly.
It's the same color we wear now, which is freaking
Highlighter yellow.
Highlighter yellow.
I want to say that it was
safety green.
It
High
was
vis. That's what they call it in the business. High vis.
Yeah. Safety green.
I still have it. I need to bring it out just at one of these shows. But the design was fantastic. I loved the design on the shirt.
I designed that.
That's what it was.
It looked fantastic.
He's sitting within arm's reach of you, so he has to sit.
It was awesome. It was some popcorn with some like heads coming out of it,
and it was in full color.
A mason jar.
Yeah.
In any other medium, I feel like that bright color behind it would have really emphasized, would have, as they say in the industry, made it pop.
Yep.
But instead it only served to make this wonderful illustration very dull in comparison to the brightest yellow green on earth.
So that was the highlight.
Literally.
That was our very first show. And
that was the very first show, and that was
all of our guests were our friends.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
Yeah.
You had Big Tiny there.
Big Tiny.
I remember seeing the pictures. He went to the house.
Theodis Crane.
He was a cool guy.
Yeah, he's awesome. He'll just show up at your house.
Yeah.
And we had Chauncey Fury, he's a tattoo artist, and Stephen Butler was there. And
yeah.
We had it was good. It was fun.
Stephen Butler, that sounds good. A lot of like what's weird is like a lot of talented people, I guess, really did come out of the Jackson area, which is pretty interesting.
This is true, but and it's not only that, but Mississippi in general.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I'll give
it's
you
in
that.
The water. Yeah.
We're coming off of where'd we come out of Mobile Bay, right? Daphne, Alabama, for the Mobile Bay Anime Fest. And then we're looking ahead to My Hero Con, Alabama. What do you got? Oh, Final Girl Fest coming up in June. So
I am
in Austin.
So looking forward to
Austin, Texas.
All of those shows, but Final Girl in particular.
Yeah, it's going to be a good show. It's going to be fun.
That's really cool. Speaking of Jackson, so where are you guys broadcasting from right now? We were just talking about this.
Philadelphia,
Mississippi.
Philadelphia. Mississippi.
Famous for our Nobel.
I talked to somebody the other day, and I recently moved to Philadelphia, and he asked how I was enjoying the Great White North, and it was at that time I realized.
Oh no! Yeah.
I did not clarify whenever I told this man, I'm moving to Philadelphia, Mississippi. He thought I moved to Philadelphia, Pennsylvania.
Yeah. Well, better Philadelphia than Arkadelphia, I guess, but we could go on about that all day.
So we're broadcasting right out of the Grindhouse. This is where we met Brandon Cox.
Yes. The Grindhouse. Yeah. I'm just in my home studio over in Baton Rouge, so I can't really say much of anything. But my studio is not haunted like your place is, I guess.
Yeah, man, I don't know what's going on in here.
Got ghostesses.
Got something. Probably,
old, settling.
Just some old settling.
This building is not done settling quite yet.
Yeah, it's still working.
Yeah, and it's only how old? It's just got settled in
man.
real good, guys. Y'all just chill.
This was a place called Risher Electronics while I was growing up.
Oh, dang.
Yeah, and I bought. I went with my brother here to get Use Your Illusion 1 and 2 on tape.
Oh, dang. Was that a I forget how long those two albums were, but was it like a double cassette? Like, was it one of those?
Yeah, it's a double cassette.
I love those. Yeah.
And now you own it. That's weird, right?
Now I own it. Yeah.
Now you run the place.
Yeah. Now, but
I thought you were about to say, and now you own Illusion Part 1 and 2.
It's like
it's real weird. Huh?
When you buy an album, you got it forever. Like that's kind of how it. I think that's the law, actually.
Yeah.
That's
There's
good.
been a lot of work done on this building since then.
That's real good. And then Brandon, so I'm not done with you yet, Brandon. So,
That's all right.
And then like, how does merch guy become your thing? Because you are like the sole merch guy. Like you're the guy who shows up, you set up the whole table, you get all the shirts and pins and buttons and stickers and lanyards and posters out.
Yeah. So you're asking like how that came to be?
Yeah, and then you put them all away when you're done. So like, yeah.
No, because
good.
Not all of them. You sell a bunch of them.
But I sell out every time. So you're asking like how that came to be, how that position came to be.
The people want to know.
I think after a show of watching a door that was neither, I think one person exited the door and came back for about 8 hours, and that was it. And so after that, I was just like, well, that was all right. That was pretty cool, but I'm going to continue going back to being a broke college student. I can't, really go back and forth and do that all the time. So that was 2014. I think it was 2016 that like I came back. I did a show in Jackson. I showed up probably very similar to what I did the first time around, which, let me remind you, no going to a meeting, no setting up anything. I want to say that I got there, my booth was set up.
Wow.
No grabbing a shirt, no learning CPR protocol, none of that. Just, I think I literally showed up that Saturday and it was just like, hey, how about you sell merch? You got your friends over here, they'll keep you company while you sell merch. And I did, and we sold the heck out of some merch. I had a lot of fun with it. I want to say that like literally like once 5 or 6 o'clock hit, I was just like, I don't know the protocol. So I think I like went up to either Greg or Moonbeam, handed them all of my cash. Like, here you go. And then I just left and went home.
Here's some cash. I'm going to go home.
Yeah. Here's all the cash that was in my back pocket all day. This was cool. Toodaloo. Bye-bye.
Yeah, we had absolutely no cash box or anything. But I'll tell you, it was 2015 because I was pregnant with Neil. And I only went for one day. But I remember walking past the merch booth and hearing Brandon say, and would you like a receipt with that? And I was like, man, that professional.
Wow. Man, he asked someone if they wanted a receipt and everything.
Yeah, I was like, man, God, we were so legit. Giving receipts.
He offered him a bag at one point in time. We didn't even have bags. I don't even know where he was getting them.
No bags.
No, there were absolutely no bags.
And you mentioned Greg. We're of course, to preface for the folks who don't know, we're talking about Greg Hallows, Moonbeam's husband, who is the boss, like we say. I'm glad you mentioned all that though, because we do have some pretty slick looking posters that are going to be out there at My Hero Con. Actually, all the shows we have coming up. I've seen the previews.
Yeah,
it's kind of a privilege of working behind the scenes. You see the previews.
Oh, yeah.
Some of them are out there already, so I'm gonna be picking up some posters between now and the end of the year for sure.
Man.
Yeah, they're super cool.
Yeah, the artist is a friend of mine named Anderson Silva, and Green Devil Artwork. Anderson Silva, not the MMA guy.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's the spider is doing all the artwork. I was not
very multifaceted.
I didn't know that was a thing, and then I was telling somebody about it, and they're like, "Really?
Whoa, wow, he's an artist so too. What a talented guy."
Yeah, but no, he's this guy's out of Brazil. He doesn't speak any English, and so our conversations are fun. But no, he's really cool. But you can find him online, Green Devil Artwork on Instagram.
That's awesome. You speak Portuguese. Is that right?
They barely speak English.
In case you weren't aware.
Yeah, no, everything. I just write normal, and I guess he runs everything through a translator. I try not to use any idioms or colloquial.
Oh yeah, no, it's not going to work.
Why do you say that?
Colloquialisms.
Good Lord, it's a tough one to say.
It's a heck of a tongue twister.
Like we said anyway about speaking English, All right, so I do have to say, we mentioned earlier, because we were talking about what we're getting to and what we have coming up or whatever. We put out some things on our socials at Humble Show. That's HUMBL 3, the number 3 show, as it's spelled here, where you found us on your favorite podcast app or YouTube or whatever. And we asked on Instagram and on TikTok, what new hero was better than the original. Someone who replaced somebody. And this was a lot of fun. We got some good responses, I think. A lot of people said Barry Allen for The Flash. Did you guys watch The Flash on the CW show?
Well, I watched the first few episodes.
Barry Allen, who did he replace?
So it's really complicated, but Barry Allen replaced Jay Garrick, who was the one who had the silver helmet.
Okay.
And then it was like, oh, well, that was actually an alternate universe one, but not it's a whole thing. But so basically, he's the second Flash. And I do think, by and large, he is the most popular one.
Okay.
You know, no offense to anyone like Wally or anybody like that. We got that a lot. A lot of people mentioned some of the Green Lanterns, which y'all know I'm a Green Lantern fan. I got a Green Lantern tattoo on my leg, so I feel like I'm
do you really?
Enough. You've never seen the Green Lantern tattoo? I don't wear a lot of shorts around you guys, I guess.
I think I've seen the Green Lantern tattoo.
It's just all the emblems from all the different ones. So I like that. Brandon here said Rome from Sublime with Rome. And I'm looking forward to you defending that point here on the show. So the floor is yours, Brandon.
You shouldn't have even said anything.
He's about 3 or 4 Mick Ultras in right now.
How rowdy am I able to get?
Look, I'll just edit out anything that's above PG-13. How about that?
Here's the deal. This is our show. We can say
it's our show.
Do what you want.
So we briefly touched upon this before we hit the record button, but old B. Noel, he could not really play the guitar like a MF and Riot. He was often not that good. And as I said prior to us hitting the record button, their engineer, who was a very big fan of the band and got them into the college studio that he worked at to record their demo as well as their debut 40 Ounces to Freedom, he played the guitar on a very, very large amount of their recorded material. And I believe he might have appeared with them live. So say what you will about bands getting back together with a frontman who is not the original, a singer-songwriter who is not the original. As far as I know, no one's had to all right, look, Rome is blowing it in the studio. You're gonna have to go ahead and send a real reggae Rasta pro in there. Someone who's got his dreads in a hair tie. No one's had to do that just yet. But I feel like there could be so many low blows as far as addiction goes, and I'm going to circumvent all of that. But here's something that I read into years ago that I'm sure that if you looked into these days, there would be absolutely no merit for. But old Bradley Noel professed to have taken part in the LA riots of was it 94? In any case, he has an entire song about it. What he fails to mention in that song is that in addition to other places of businesses, he targeted businesses that he was friends with. In particular, there was a record store that his friends owned that he was planning. He told people that he was looting with that day, okay, I'm going to steal all of the box sets. Well, as with anybody who was protecting their turf that day, you had people on the roof, guns in hand, and they're like, okay, look, if you do this, we're going to shoot you. And he just kind of cowers, and he walks back to his car, and he waves to his friends, I'll be back, laughing, smiling. And he stole from a lot of his friends that day. So
that is bananas.
Say what you will about the cash grab that might be Sublime versus Rome. It's more, it's less that I'm a big Rome fan, and it's more that I am a big Bradley Noel detractor.
Okay, yeah. And like I said earlier, fine singer indeed. I just thought it was a very odd thing to conjure up from the entire nebula that I presented you with.
And here's the thing. Here's the thing. That was a Moonbeam texted me this morning. She's like, "Hey, you should tell people, you know what you think here." And that was just something that I came off. That came off on the top of my head.
He responded in less than 10 seconds.
And I just justified the thing that I wrote off the top of my head. Now, don't get me wrong. Everything that I just said was very true. Everything that I just said, I do believe.
He stands behind it.
But never.
I believe that you believe it.
Never until this very moment did I ever think that I would defend the touring recording act that is Sublime. I almost said Sublime versus Rome. Sublime with Rome. That is an act that I did not think I would be defending today.
Well, you never know what's going to happen when you show up to the Humble Show, including me, because we're doing this for the first time ever. So
we don't even have a syllabus.
What's weird is What's weird is we took a very long detour to kind of get to the topic. I feel like away from the topic and now coming back to the topic because the reason why I wanted to talk about that is because of the fact that the show My Hero Academia, whom a lot of our guests at this upcoming show, I'm getting ahead of myself, are from. It's kind of, that show's very much a lot like, a character sort of taking the place of the hero kind of a thing. And now we're looking at, in just a couple weeks here, June 3rd and 4th in Birmingham, Alabama at the BJCC. What's that? The Birmingham Jefferson Convention Center, which is a cool building, I think, by the way.
I do like it, yeah.
And a lot of our guests are going to be from the show, My Hero Academia, folks that are actually voice actors, including the lead character, Deku, who's Justin Briner. Justin's great to work with. A lot of people show up at his table for some reason. Very odd, right?
Who knows why?
It's kind of like when you're the star of the show,
so
people
nice.
like want to meet you. Also, also a very nice guy.
He's so nice.
Super cool to work with. A lot of fun. A lot of other heavy hitters from that anime world there too. Justin Cook, who's awesome. Chris Waycamp, Lucy Christian, Monica Real. Like, too many really awesome people to even name. But what's cool is because traditionally we did, it's more of an anime show, more of an anime convention. But it's growing beyond that now to being a general hero convention, because there's a good chunk of our guests are actually cast members from X-Men, the animated series, which I guess is being relaunched as X-Men 97 coming up pretty soon as well. So that's cool. We've worked with Cal Dodd before, who's amazing.
Very, very nice.
Oh my gosh.
Who's
one
the
of
voice of Wolverine from that. Oh yeah, he's so cool. Like,
He's
super
so
awesome
cool.
guy. And so all these folks here that are working here at this show, George Busa, who was Beast.
Cal's not coming to this one.
Cal
just
will not be at this
FYI.
one. Cal will be in Birmingham, Alabama for the Alabama Comic-Con in September. So that's why, I guess, because it's in the same exact building. So if you're like, I don't know, because I want to go see Wolverine will be there in September, same building. But we got Adrian Hill, who was Nightcrawler, Catherine Disher, who was Jean Grey. A lot of really cool guests are going to be at that show. You can get your tickets to that at myheroconvention.com. And I do, like I said, I do like the BJCC a lot. I think that's a cool spot. But that whole area is really interesting.
Yeah. It's a great area.
It's always very interesting, and I feel like it's a good time to bring up just the. We didn't really plan on this, but just the very interesting people that were in that area the last handful of times.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. The last time we were in Birmingham, after our show, we went outside and ate dinner and then went and watched Garth Brooks.
Yeah.
Yes.
Let's sit outside and watch Garth Brooks.
That was that Saturday.
Yeah.
So just and then in addition to that, you had a very, was it the AFL?
Oh, like
USFL, the USFL.
Well, USFL having some sort of like they were having their own sort of convention or get together, right?
They were living
so like
in the
to set the
hotel.
stage, like the area's like it's like the convention center, right across the street, there's some hotels, which is where we stay whenever we do a show there. There's some concert venue nearby. There's like some shops and restaurants and stuff a little down the way. And then there's the UAB football stadium, and it's all like in this area. So it's like they've created this entertainment district in Birmingham. So yeah, like in that one weekend for the Alabama Comic Con last year, it was last year's show. You had us. There was some like dance competition. There was some like R&B concert. The USFL had like several games. What's that?
It was
who was playing?
It was this past time. It was like Garth Brooks was playing on Saturday night, and then Sunday night.
Oh, it was Genuine. Okay,
I think it was Genuine.
Was it Genuine? Wow. Okay, yeah.
I don't know, man. That's my go-to.
I just say if you say R&B, I say Pony. That's what happens.
Yes. But then 2021 was even more wild because I think that we still had like the football folks in, like they were doing their thing. There was some other show, but then in addition, in another part of the BJCC, you had a tattoo convention.
Oh yeah,
that's right. I forgot about that.
Yes,
like the Living Art convention or something. So
just waking up on Sunday morning, everybody's kind of groggy. You get into the elevator and you have men with cowboy hats.
Yeah.
Men with just people with various tattoos, and then you have people with a Naruto headband. It's just like, hey, I wonder what everybody's doing today.
Yeah. Well, what was crazy about the last time too, because it was not, because like I said, you have the restaurants there, and then right across the street, it's like a 4-lane street that they had closed off for foot traffic. Was the UAB stadium where Garth Brooks was going to be playing that night, and they had like the Jumbotron. And so that you could see like from across the street, and you could hear the concert from across the street. So people were just sitting outside in front of some of these restaurants listening to the concert and watching it on the thing. And one of our volunteers, I think, ended up standing on the corner and watching Garth Brooks with Judge Reinhold, who was in the Santa Claus.
That was all of us. No, that was all of us.
Was that y'all? Was that you guys?
Yeah. Judge and his wife, they were sitting out there with us.
Yeah.
And man, they were having a big time, man. That's
awesome.
So cool.
Oh, because in my mind, I'm thinking like you guys are like standing out on the streets, like looking at this Jumbotron.
Nah.
And like Garth Brooks is like, we got a very special guest tonight.
No, he should have.
Judge Reinhold
from Fast Times at Ridgemont.
Listen, man, he should have. But no, Judge Reinhold and his wife, they were just sitting outside, like, just,
having a good time,
leaning against the concrete, watching the show from the Jumbotron, just like the rest of us.
But I think I saw Judith Hogue out there watching the show too, who was April O'Neil in Ninja Turtle, the first Ninja Turtles movie as well.
Yeah.
Who we love, by the way. She's amazing.
Yeah, she's rad. Yeah. There was a lot of people enjoying that Garth Brooks concert. And the thing is you don't know how many Garth Brooks songs you know until you hear them.
Yeah, it's
and
weird.
You're like, I know every one of these songs.
It's kind of like Electric Light Orchestra.
ELO.
Yeah, that's true.
Like, oh wow, these guys really own the 70s.
Mr.
Don't bring me down.
Sky.
Yeah.
Gross.
And I wouldn't like call myself the biggest country fan or anything like that, but there was a point in time where like you couldn't throw a rock without hitting something Garth Brooks related,
I mean,
you know what's funny is my dad is in Las Vegas right now seeing Garth Brooks.
Of course he is.
I swear. I mean, like he's not coming home until late Saturday night.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's seeing Garth Brooks right now.
Could have just gone to Birmingham last year, but
he could have.
I'll say this, man. Birmingham is a hidden gem of the South. I don't think a lot of people talk about going to Birmingham.
Whatever,
but it's a cool town.
We love Birmingham.
I'm down with it. What's funny is we went to the little there's a Tex-Mex place, the Cantina.
Oh yeah.
Which is right across the road from the UAB stadium. We went down there right as the Garth Brooks crowd was emptying out. And my family was with me at that trip. Remember, my wife and my daughter MJ were both there. And she was pumped because that was the day she got to meet some of the Power Rangers. So she was all she was like floating that day. She was levitating.
Man.
She got to meet David Yost and Amy Jo Johnson and Johnny Young Bosch, who we love.
Oh my gosh, so cool.
Super cool
We
guy.
love Johnny Young Bosch.
And anyway, we got down there as the crowd filtered out, and our waitress was like, "Yeah, it was just crazy in here. A guy just had a heart attack."
Oh God,
We were
Lord.
like, "What?" And they're like, "She was like, yeah, the ambulance like just took him. Like the ambulance left, and then y'all walked in. It was like,
I will not have what he said.
So we're getting a discount, right?
yeah." I was like, "So cool. Like if a guy dies in the restaurant, you get like half off your." I don't think she said he was fine. He looked fine whenever they took him away. So
Lord.
that's how
He
much
looked
fun.
like he was just trying to get a free meal out of this.
Maybe that's that. Oh
Little
man,
sympathy heart
could you
attack.
imagine? I don't know. That'd be actually a really expensive meal in the long run. Maybe
Oof.
don't do that. You know,
Yeah,
the ambulance
yeah.
ride out of there wouldn't be.
Ambulances are no joke.
Yeah, for real.
I will call an Uber before I call an ambulance.
Yeah.
You kidding me? Oof.
That might work actually. Anyway, look, I think we've really covered everything we needed to cover this episode.
Oh, yeah.
I think
Absolutely.
we've had a lot of fun. I hope you all out there had. I know you had fun. Don't lie, you had fun. And be sure you are subscribed to us so you don't miss the next episode. Be sure you're following us on Instagram and on TikTok and wherever else. The Humble Show, Humble HUMBL and the number 3 show. We'll be back next week with another episode. Till then, stay humble.
Yeah.
See?